What's up? What's up? I'm gonna start in a minute. Get a couple more people in here. What's going on, y'all? Shout out, say some of y'all come in. About to start in a minute. All right, now we back. Stack Attack Sundays, 8:30. I didn't announce it, guys, but I thank the people that's in here, and I know some of you guys get the playback. You guys come back in, whatever. But today's video is you can't change people, and at the end of the day, you can't change people. We live in a society when everybody is feeding the ego, they get to the ego, and then people become stuck in their ways. And a lot of time when you come on YouTube, you're running across red pill content, which is, what I teach is, basically a little bit red pill, being aware of red pill, not being red pill rage or overdoing the red pill. The issue I have is when people, they come here because they come from a bad breakup or they come through a bad experience in life, period. And 9 times out of 10, that the thing that brought them to YouTube for self-improvement is they couldn't change a situation or they want to change their situation. And that's good and all and dandy, because at the end of the day, we got to change ourselves before we see the good in anybody else. You can't judge people when you're not the best version of yourself. That's why I always tell you guys is you versus you. Plan, purpose, program. And part of your program is just understanding that people ain't going to be for your program. You can't change people. You can't build a bear, build a woman, build a man. You got to be basically, walk, be the best version of you. And that's what my channel is all about. So I know a lot of times when we go through breakups and relationships is because somebody just wasn't on the same rhythm that we was. At the end of the day, you don't want nobody to complicate you. You want somebody to compliment you. But the best relationship that you should have is with yourself first before you deal with anybody else. Because sometimes you have to know that you can move alone before you move with somebody. And a lot of times people use other people for crutches and want them to change in their ways. And like I said before, we live in a society with internet and everybody who could be who they want to be online, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram. But can you be who you want to be within inside yourself? That validation when you go to sleep at night, are you happy or who you are? Not worry about what people think about what you got on as clothes, what kind of money you got in your pocket. You got to have that self-love. You got to master yourself before you can deal with anybody else. So I'm gonna go back on. I'm gonna go over a couple of videos that I did. Basically, I mean, it's kind of piggybacking off the topic, but it was basically I did one that love makes people do dumb things, and then another one I haven't done this one yet, but 5 things that make a person open. And I think the thing with 5, one that make a person open, it helps us understand who we need to deal with and who we not need to deal with. I got a question. Excellent. Try to contact me. What does it mean when the ex says, hey, I just want to check it on it, and I haven't spoke to her for a year plus and ended on bad terms? All right, so I'm gonna answer the question in the chat, but I'm more than free. The numbers in the description. You can call in, but I'm gonna answer that question because if an ex called you from a year ago and y'all ended on bad terms, she's realizing that she fucked up. At the end of the day, or she may be, she used to your presence, and the grass ain't always greener on the other side. So a lot of times when people realize the grass is not greener on the other side, they actually want to go back to the past because they realize that past foundation, they should have watered that grass. And to me, if she's reaching out to you now, she know what good qualities you have, but you got to watch that because it's cuffing season right now. And a lot of times people want to be, they want to be with somebody just for the season of the holiday season with Thanksgiving coming up and Christmas, New Year's, and Valentine's Day. So you got to watch that. A lot of people are trying to cuff you because at the end of the day, they know what you bring to the table compared to what they went out there and tried to do. So basically, she is just trying to, reach back from the past and monkey branch back to you after she did what she wanted to do. So if you got any more questions or any more details, that's why the number's there. You call back, but you can't change people. At the end of the day, if you ended bad on the situation, she's got to show you that she's changed and come at you honestly with it. And you got to see it. You just can't just give in because she came back or she called back. Sometimes it's worth hearing people out, but if it's on bad terms, it's good that you got to let go, though, because you can't hold grudges moving forward in your life. You're going to run across people for all kind of reasons. Sometimes people in your life for a season and a reason, and it open your eyes for the next person that you deal with. And a lot of times people hold on to grudges with people, and then they don't even see the road down ahead, if you know what I mean. Basically, I'm saying you have to self-reflect on what you did that made it go wrong, and don't blame, don't trash the other person. Accept the good times and accept the bad times, and understand how to take a loss. Sometimes as men and as women, we don't know how to take a loss. And with all these options of meeting people on a daily basis, it's easier for us to just run away from what we did wrong and work on it. And just instead of just get to work, do the work, understand where you went wrong, accept it, don't hold no grudges, and move on. So on that case, like she want to talk to you, just hear her out. And if you got any more questions, just call in, bro. That's why I got the phone here. Call in and go from there. All right. So back to what I was saying about, right now you can't change people. It is cuffing season. People, you just can't change people at a certain age, and it's probably getting, I'll say after 30, a person got to want to change themselves at the end of the day. It ain't no other way around it. You cannot just all of a sudden feel like a person gonna change for you. In relationships I work, it ain't gonna be sunshines and rainbows. The first 3 months might be the great 3 months, but how you being proactive when you dealing with somebody, even dealing with yourself, you have to go get therapy and be proactive towards your own livelihood for your own self to make you better as a man or a woman. At the end of the day, don't go to the doctor when you're hurt. Go to the doctor when you're feeling good to make sure you're proactive about your health. Same thing with your mental health. And when you love yourself and you well-rounded without needing somebody, when you find somebody that's on the same page as you'll watch that things will work out very well. So, all right, I'm gonna jump into this video. Just go back to the videos of 5 things that I feel like make people do dumb things. When you're in love, why do you do these 5 dumb things? The first thing is you have a baby before marriage. A lot of times people try to have a baby before marriage on purpose. A man will want to get a woman pregnant, a woman won't get pregnant by a man, so they can actually get the narrative that they want. They don't want them. It's kind of like holding a person back on purpose just to make sure that they're there for the long haul. So that's a tactic that I feel like people use to try to change a person. This guy may not want to marry you, and you just like, well, let me get pregnant, and if I get pregnant, he may marry me. Or vice versa, he might pregnate you because he feel like you out there got plenty of options, but if I get her fat and pregnant, maybe she'll just stay with me. So this is a dumb thing to try to hold somebody back, try to change somebody, try to put somebody in a program, is try to get pregnant on purpose. So make sure you dealing with people responsibly and somebody that's their whole self, because you will recognize it if you become your whole self. If you not your whole self, you're going to fall for every trick in the book. And that's why I always advocate to work on your mental health, work on your awareness of dating and relationships and everything else. All right, number 2, investing in someone that's not investing in you. Is you a man and you sitting there investing in a woman that's not pouring into you as a man and make you feel like the man you are and appreciative of the things you do for her, that's a red flag. Like, just because you give her gifts and stuff, she may take them, but at the same time, is she appreciative of it? Is she taking advantage of it? Usury is a mug. It's a lot of times women, they in their 20s and their early 30s, and then they get 30, 40, late 30s and they 40s, and they wonder why dating is so hard for them, because at the end of the day, they use the guys in their 20s and their 30s, and then they realize karma is a bitch. Same thing for a man. If a man womanize women for so long, then eventually he may end up flipping the script, and the woman he wants gonna play him like he played the women he played in the past. So sometimes when you invest in a person, make sure you're getting the same investment back. It might not be as same, like, you want somebody cooperative and somebody's pouring into who you are as a man or a woman. You don't want to be, overreaching yourself for somebody that's not willing to be cooperative with you. And that goes for a man and a woman. So make sure you realize who you give your energy to, and just don't give everybody your energy. Don't fall in love with everybody. Don't have that tender heart as a female or a male. Make sure you understand what you stand for, and you don't fall for anything when you deal with somebody. And they could be the ideal person that you like on the eyes and everything, but if you guys are not clicking, don't show your hand. Please don't, because there's a lot of manipulating people out there in this world, and a lot of narcissistic people as well. All right, number 3. People will actually spy on you when they actually, they want you to themselves. Like I ain't had women do drive-bys. Just trying to see what the hell I was up to. Even I was just talking to them, not even in a relationship. So You got to watch people that try to go through your phone, do stuff like that. If they doing that type of stuff, they're not secure about what they bring into the relationship in the first place. They think you probably either too good for them in the first place, or vice versa. If they're feeling like that, they need to either ask you straight up, or just if you give a person that feeling that I gotta go through do all this and do all this fine, then you need to let them go anyway. That's my number 3. But the number 4 is they will go through your Facebook and your Instagram to follow the people you follow, or see the people you follow, and see what type of man that follow you as a woman, what type of women follow you as a man, and see, is this the type of people that he deal with, or this type of people she deal with? A lot of times women will size a man up, and men will size a woman up as like, what do she really like? Because a lot of times in relationships, people think, you got these secrets, and you probably do, you probably don't. In this day and age, it's 2020, you never know. But a lot of times people are very insecure, so they go to your IG or your Insta or your Facebook, and then they try to surface what type of people you deal with, what type of people you follow, what type of people follow you, what the competition look like as men and women. And sometimes people that do this are the insecure people that know they can't hold you in a relationship and just scared of the competition, period. All right. Last but not least, another thing a person would do to try to trap you or, hold you down, knowing that they can't change you, they would try to co-sign. It's a couple things they do. They try to co-sign on a place, a car. They even go buy a fucking dog or an animal to try to hold you, to say we got something together, to tie you in, to make sure that you stay on the team with them. And if you do get away, at the end of the day, they got tabs on you, because you got to either break the lease, you got to either finish paying the car off, or you got to share the dog. And they know that the next woman or the next man that come in is going to be like, what the fuck? Like, that's going to just mess up the whole rhythm of a new relationship moving forward. So a lot of people do this on purpose, because they know it's a contract. I signed a contract with you, outside of marriage, to live with you, or a car. Then I got tabs on you. Then the fuckery would start. The shit testing would start. If they got bad intentions, it will start on one side, and the other side person might be cool and just really want this and really was, on the same page. But sometimes people, when they move in together, that's when things go berserk. So that was my number 5 for the 5 dumb things people do when 5 things love make you do. Dumb things love make you do. So moving forward, 5 things that make a person open. This is very important, because at the end of the day, when people are open, they're subject to change. But people use your openness against you. People that don't want to do the work. A lot of times when you are a very open person and very forgiving and shit like that, people will come for you, and people will use your openness against you. So the number 1 thing I would say that can help you be open is your parents. A lot of times when you have a good childhood, or good parents, I would say good parents and good family, it helps you be open and honest. If you have that honest communication with your mother and your father, it allows you to just have that openness to make you a better person later down the line, and your family. But if you have a bad family history, bad parents, trauma, and that brings me to my number 2, is it brings a bad childhood. And at the end of the day, when you have a bad childhood, it allows you to pretty much look back on the past and don't even see your future. Because a lot of times when I dated people with traumatizing childhoods, it affects them at some point in the relationship. And I ain't saying people with bad childhoods are bad people to date and all, but they got willing to do the work. No matter what stage of life we in, we got willing to do the work. But bad childhood trauma without getting therapy or getting help will hurt you in a long-term relationship. It will hurt you all the way. Okay, so number 3 that can actually help you, be open and see people for who they are is living in a great environment. Dealing with, a lot of times your environment, you are a product of where you come from. A lot of times people come from bad environments or environments that's not educated towards finances or illiterate towards just education or just everything, your health, all that. Like, your environment is everything, because you only can live in one room at a time. But at the end of the day, if you understand your environment, you will understand not to keep up with the Joneses and all that other bullshit. Sometimes people feel like they need stuff to make them feel good. And there's nothing wrong with having good stuff, but you got to realize that stuff is just stuff. So let's see who calling here. What up, man? Yep.
You got something, John, or what's up?
You on now? We talking about you can't change people. So I was talking about the things that help you not change people. I'm on number 3 of when you open. Well, what helps you be an open person is your environment. If you have a great environment, it helps you in the long run. You know what I'm saying? And number 1 was good families, good parents. Number 2 was good childhood. And number 3 was great environment. Do you feel like those things help you be an open person when you do date people?
I mean, I think, of course. I mean, those are your foundations. I mean, even outside of the interconnection with people, I mean, you got to be a good person to yourself and your family, your upbringing, and like I say, your overall environment are the things that makes you be you. Because, like as you always say, you got to be whole before you can even approach or be in relation with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm a half, ain't no way I can even give you a whole. If I'm starting off at a half, you know what I'm saying? Like, that don't even make sense. So yeah, you gotta have those in place up front.
Because my number 4 was mastering self-love. So that's my number 4 was mastering self-love. Is pretty much what you just said. Like, you have to, no matter what you've been through as a child or your environment or your parents, you got to master loving yourself before you can love anybody else. Because if you don't, all you're going to do is, when you go in relationships, you're going to expect that person to be Superman or Superwoman to bring you happiness. And when that person don't bring you happiness, then you're going to run to the next relationship and the next relationship and the next relationship. So, like you said, you got to be a whole person to accept a full person, to be a full person and accept another person. And it helps you later down the line too to see, who people really are as well.
Yeah. And I mean, the self-love, I mean, I would probably it's right to be at number 4, but it's like that almost ties with your, like you say, your whole, the family or your environment of coming up. I mean, self-love is so critical, and nowadays, so many people wait till later in life to get self-love correct. That it's almost like it's no reason why. I mean, it's almost like it's because I would say there's almost what do you call it? It's almost like that's why you go to so many dysfunctional relationships or stuff that just doesn't work out the right way, because sometimes it's put off.
Yeah, I mean, I really put self-love there, number 4, because, you start off with your parents, your family. That's the first thing that raised you. Then your childhood, is coming up as part of your family and your friends as well. And then your environment. Then I said mastering self-love. Self-love is something that you have to renew with yourself on a daily basis. It's something that we don't look at. Just like we got to pay your phone bill every month. To me, you gotta treat yourself and love yourself every day. And a lot of times, you may love yourself in 2009, but do you love yourself in 2020? Because things change. A lot of times, people go through shit in life, and they don't don't realize that it's a part of the road. It's a part of that slash from your birthday to your death date that you gonna go through stuff, and that's what brings me to my number 5 is accepting the past things that happen in your life, accepting losses. Because when you lose people in your life, it builds your character. You gotta be grateful for the people that walked in your life or been in your life. A lot of times, people that's when they really tested about their self-love when they lose a parent or a grandparent. And instead of being mad at God or just mad at the situation, you got to be grateful for the situation you have, because there's some people that didn't even have a father or a grandmother and stuff like that. So that's another thing. Like, people don't understand self-love is loving yourself and then understanding the things that happen in your life to help you build you to be the person you are. And building you who you are is going to come with wins and losses.
Let me ask you this. I'm just asking this because you may have people on the line who watch, who may watch it, come back and watch it. So I know you definitely have a series of classes serious talks where you talk about this. But if you are on the latter end of life, and I'm talking about you just you pass a certain stage of your upbringing, you're past the stage of like your environment per se. Where do you start doing the self-love at? Like, how do you start from scratch when you didn't have, let's say 20 plus odd years on earth, and you still ain't got to this point where, you ain't loving yourself right? Where do you start with that?
You gotta be real with yourself and reach out for therapy. You gotta, because everybody know your thoughts before you even open your mouth, right? So going to talk to somebody that don't know you, that will not judge you, and basically an expert on trying to help you, just like a doctor. Like, you may know your arm is hurting, but you might need surgery. So you got to go to the expert to tell you how they going to fix your arm from hurting or whatever, or your muscle, or fix your tear in your muscle. And that's the same thing in the muscle in your brain. You know something wrong. A lot of people know when there's something wrong with them. They just don't want to go do the work. And it starts with getting therapy, getting diagnosed of how can I fix this. And a lot of times in the Black community, we want to be the person that get the last say about our lives. And sometimes we have to, be honest. Just like if you get cancer and you want the doctor to be real with you, to tell you how we gonna attack this cancer to help you live. No different than going to therapy. When you tell a person what you went through in your life, you gotta be honest, and you gotta be willing to trust the doctor that he's gonna actually, the therapist, that he's gonna actually give you the lowdown of what's going on with you, and you gotta be willing to do the work, and you gotta be willing to accept criticism. And that's what it starts with, because a lot of times when people are like overweight, it's not about the weight, it's about the mentality. If you do something for so long, if you eat for 20 years or 30 or 20 years, like you said, for so long bad, it's not just because you did for 3 months don't mean you're going to change. It may take 3 years. But if you know you're doing the right things, the change will come. So that's how I feel about that. Now, I don't know if you heard, but I'm going to go over this one more time. Said 5 dumb things people do when they are in love, or they think this could keep a person in love. A lot of times women want to get pregnant before they get married, and men want to drop a seed in a woman to try to hold them down. Do you agree that people do that dumb stuff?
I'm sorry. My apologies for laughing.
Nah, it's the truth, though.
You're right. It is. That's why it's like we laughing, but it ain't funny. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I call them keep a nigga babies, or keep, lock a chick down type situations. And I think that's just it's bad in itself, because it's just like you said, you already know in your mind why you're doing it, right? And if you know that, like, you really don't want this particular person, but you trying to keep them, and you trying to do something like that, where, like I say, you now involve a whole nother life. I mean, that's just playing, you know, as we call it, playing carnival games. You don't get, you know, those clown shoes at the end of the day. You're gonna look like a fool because you created a whole situation that you didn't really need to. You know what I'm saying? But that's also because, like you say, going back to the other conversation about, you know, what you used to growing up with, what you used to being around, and now you have this, you know, this type of manipulation where you want to lock this person down, where, you know, you may not be the best fit for this person. You know what I'm saying? So now you trying to make them fit in your life, and it's a mess. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's funny that it happens, but it ain't funny because the situation is it ruins people's lives, and usually the worst person lives that it ruins is that child.
Facts. So how do you feel about investing in somebody that's not pouring into you? Like, a lot of times people feel like if I give her this and I'll do this for him, or I do, you know, all this extra, thinking like, you know, to me, that's another sucker mentality. If you, it's nothing wrong for you doing nice things for the opposite sex, but sometimes when people go to the extreme and they're not getting they're not getting that back in return, you know, they're not getting it reciprocated back. You know, how you feel about when people overextend themselves?
So here's the thing, right? Most people have heard Steve Harvey, right? May not necessarily agree with everything he says, but like in some of his books, he references, like, you know, dating to the same way you do, like with a job, right? Where you go in, you have like a 90-day period, right? Now, a lot of times when we hear that, we think it's just sex, right? And it ain't always sex. It's what you give. It's what you learn. It's what you know, depart into the other person. And like I say, within the first couple times of being around a person, you should actually kind of get an idea of like, okay, I can see myself going forward, or this ain't nothing but just, it's going to be a good meal, it's going to be a good date, and that's just where I need to leave it, right? As time goes on, and like I say, kind of going back to the job reference, you know, you have a mid-year review, and then you have an annual review. You know what I'm saying? If mid-year you're not doing good on your job, what they do? They're going to put you on a performance improvement plan. You know what I'm saying? Or a PIP, or whatever they want to call it. And they're going to say by that year, you know, and I'm not saying that it has to happen in that time frame, but you know what I'm saying? After a while, they're going to be like, yo, you ain't changing. And it's just like time is money and money is time. Hey, the more time I spend with you and I'm not getting nothing out of it, there is not an investment. There's now, you know, I forgot what the financial term is, but there's a lack. There's a depreciation of my value because I'm not gaining nothing here. And I mean, relationships has to be about certain gains. You know, like I got to be a better person. I mean, yeah, it may be a financial investment in one part of it, but there should be, you know, I should feel good spiritually. I should feel good mentally. Hell, I may feel good physically because you care about my diet and health, and it should be some type of gains. And if I'm not getting those, after a while, man, you got to chalk your losses. I mean, especially if you see the signs. But that's also being like you say, being aware of, you know, what's going on within yourself. Like, if you know this ain't going nowhere, why waste the time? Like you say, it goes back to that whole stupid scenario of, all right, I'm just going to trap her because she good people. But you're not pouring into her. You're trying to keep her down, or you trying to keep him down. You ain't pouring into him. You're just trying to keep taking. And after a while, man, you have to just do the checks and balances. If it ain't, like I say, time is money. If it ain't giving you, putting something into your account, it's ultimately taken away from you. So why would you continue that?
Facts. So do you feel like when a woman comes to you and from the jump, she set her boundaries, but it's like, I'm marriage minded, I'm this, I'm that? Because I feel like sometimes people could look good on paper, man and woman, but if it don't click, then why deal with it? You know what I'm saying? Hold on, Tay. Hold on. There's another call coming in. It might be. No, they hung up, so don't worry about it. It might. I gotta watch these trolls, man. You know, Sometimes they call in, you know, they be talking about all kind of racist stuff, but I don't let them be on speakerphone. I put them on the earpiece. But anyway, yeah, how you feel about when a woman come in very aggressive of what she wants because she may be that age?
Okay.
Hold on real quick. Let me see if there's a troll. Hello.
Yo, what's going on, Stack?
What's up, man?
Ain't nothing to it. Long time no talk to you.
Hold on, my bad. Hold on, my bad, Rick. That is Big Rich. Hold on, okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Big Rich in Cleveland too, man. My cousin on the phone, Tate.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Yes, sir. No, man. I'm just listening to you talking now, man. Hearing the other brother on the line, and you know, just wanted to shout out, man, for a minute and put my piece in there.
Okay, go ahead, man.
You know, when it comes to dealing with people, and you know, you talk about how you can't change people. I think the first thing that we got to remember is, man, like when we have someone we truly care about, we tell them we love them. We tell them how much we care about them at every single turn, any opportunity we get. We got to remember, if you love yourself, you got to do that, like you said, every day.
Every
you
day.
got to renew that commitment to yourself. You know, and as far as people changing and whatnot, man, I believe like Coach Warren always say, that person, if they walk out your life, let them go. Don't even accept them back. Don't even, and this goes where if it's about a girl or if it's about a friend that's a dude of yours, man, and they went by the wayside and they just left out your life, someone walk out your life, let them go. Because the thing is, the reality of it is, man, as far as not being able to change, you shouldn't want to change them because you know what? Every minute they go by, you changing yourself. So that person, that's not even the same person that walked out your life before. You don't even know who that is. You know, if they keep on checking on you, or they call back out the clear blue, talking about they just checking on you, or they just, man, that's some bull right there. They trying to scope a way to go ahead and take advantage of you to get back and slide back in.
Yeah, you're right about that.
You can't even allow that, man, because you can't. If they wanted to leave, you can't trust them no way. If they didn't have no loyalty and they wanted to go, let them go, man.
Especially if you now only issue it depends what you got going on. I mean, I will always hear somebody out before I dismiss them completely. But if I moved on, especially if it's a female, and if I got another relationship or something, I'm not even trying to hear them out. They messed up, they had their turn, good riddance. But if I got nothing going on at the time, then I'll at least hear them out. But I will still keep them to this.
Because, you know what I mean? And that's fair. I believe that because that's fair because everyone has a chance for redemption. You know, You can't say that no one can change, you know, because people can change it. You just got to remember that. I mean, keep yourself in first place, man.
Yeah.
Keep yourself a priority because they don't know your game plan and you don't want to show too much in your hand anyway. Because like I said, man, there's a lot of people that will check back in on you just to try to sabotage, bro.
Exactly.
I mean, I definitely get the sabotage, but see, for me, I kind of feel like it's kind of what Brian just mentioned. Oh, excuse me. You know, it's like you got to give a person a chance to speak their piece, right?
For real.
In that, you still have to have your own discernment. You know, like I always like he always say, you know, you always got to have a relationship with your creator. So you got to know, you know, I know that what I'm listening to or what I'm hearing this person talk about, I got to weigh it against how I feel about how I'm receiving. And if I don't feel like it's genuine, then there you go. But if I feel like it's genuine, because every situation, sometimes it don't really involve you. And if they're actually doing you a favor or a service by saying, let me step away because maybe you don't need to be involved in this not because I don't want you there, but I need to get through this myself so that way I'm clear, I know what I'm doing, and it's not it's not like any type of I'm trying to think of the words, but it's like it's nothing else that's tied to this. It's me getting out here finding out what it is I need to do to make myself better.
And you can see it, you're right, because you at that point you can see it from your own vantage point.
Correct.
You know, and get a clear picture of everything without nothing fogging it up.
Correct. And then there's no collateral damage. Because a lot of times we don't understand, like in house repairs, and like I say, I always try to put it on a different look. When you do like a renovation of a house, you gotta tear that house up to make it look beautiful. You know what I'm saying? That house was already existing. However, the foundation was laid. It's kind of how Brian kind of talks about like the whole growing up your environment where the neighborhood it sits. But once you want to do a renovation, dude, you go in there with sledgehammers. You go in there with anything to tear stuff out, and that gets messy. It gets dirty, and a lot of people don't want to do that type of work. They want to come in when everything is, as we say, good soil ground. For the house, everything is now tore up. Everything is, now replaced, and now all we got to do is bring in the new stuff.
Yeah, that's the easy way because they ain't put no investment in it, so they don't value it as much. When you actually put work into something, that's your investment. You're gonna appreciate that more, and you're gonna take care of it in the long run, man.
True. I'm not one exactly, but there's also people that says I need to do this by myself, so that way I get the point or I get the lesson, and I actually get through whatever may have in the past of their life or whatever whatever is going on. I get it and I got it for myself because some people they have to go through that. Sometimes every lesson ain't always given. You can't always be told. You know what I'm saying? So, like they always say, I can tell you that pot is hot on the stove, but it's not until you put your hand on it, you burn yourself. You're like, oh, that is hot. And that's how it is sometimes in life, too.
Hey, bro, I feel you. I feel you, man. And straight up, all respect to you, bro. I'm at the point where I'm just speaking from a vantage point of I'm 52 years old now.
Okay.
And I don't got time. I done played games with people. And I'm about, and I'm not, it's not even a thing where I'm bitter about it. I just don't have time. I know I've lived more years than I'm going to live. And I don't have time to play them little games with people, man. If you walk, you walk. Peace to you, and I, love you. But I know how to love people from a distance now, man. That's it. And that's just what it is. Nothing bad against them. And I wish all the best for everybody. But, you're on your path. I'm on my path, man. I got to keep going because I know exactly where I want to be with mine. But I don't have time to drag people along. I'll tell you, where I'm going. If I think that it's a really genuine relationship, I'll tell you where I'm going. But if at any point you're not going the same place I'm going, hey, man, I love you, but we going to two different spots.
So,
and I can't waste time with you. I got to get to where I got to be. Otherwise, I'm not going to be there.
Right.
It's like dragging an anchor with you.
Exactly.
And then here's the thing: you just said like you spoken from a vantage point of being at a certain place in your life, right? And that's it. Everybody, we all have when you look at, let's say, like a ruler, right? And a ruler, like what he's saying, is that dash on your tombstone. We all at different points when we meet, and in that, you have to be, kind of cognitive that, certain people's timeline don't work for you, and that's okay. But don't sit there and, as he says, impregnate her or try to get impregnated by him. Because the timelines are off. Because, okay, what I'm speaking of may work for me, but with you, like you just said, like, hey, I'm not trying to go through that.
Man. Because, and much respect to everything you're saying. It's just that I've been there and done that, man. I got 8 grandkids. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not even playing on that level with these bras or whatever. I'm trying to keep my relationship with God and trying to get to that paper, man. That's all I'm really, really concerned about.
Yeah.
Everything else, I like to help young brothers. I like to do what I can. As far as anybody go, tell you the truth, man. I love people, man. Being a man of God, I love people, but at the same time, man, I just don't have time to waste if people don't want to listen, man. And that's not to say that I'm always right. Because you like, brother, we all different, and everybody's in a different place or whatnot, man. I just ain't got the time, bro.
Yeah.
But hey, it was good calling in and talking to you, brothers, man. I got to go ahead and get with the thing, man. Stat, peace to you, brother.
All right,
It's
Big
been a
Rich.
minute. You know, straight up from C-Town, man. One of the days when this pandemic thing go away, man, I know you got people up this way. We going to have to get together, brother.
Yeah, I'm going to come up to Cleveland. Come see you, Rich.
Right on, my brother, man. We all take it easy, brothers, man. Peace to you, man.
All right, Big Rich.
All right.
But he touched on something very important, though. Like, you want somebody to compliment your life, not complicate it. And just like Will said, I would say just like beauty is in the eye of the beholder, your time is in the eye of you. So you know where you at in life when you can take, if you're in a certain part of your life that you a no nonsense cutthroat, there's nothing wrong with that. Now, if you're in the point of your life and you still building, you still working on yourself, you gotta still be open for forgiveness. Open, and I ain't saying he wasn't open for forgiveness, but at the end of the day, I get it. Like if you're a certain age and you ain't got time to be playing games with a woman or nothing. Like, come on, that man, like he said, he's 52 years old. We in our 30s. We ain't got. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He got grandkids. So I much respect. I believe that if a woman playing games and you basically gonna lay it all on the table at that age, because you know you may not have 2 more years to live, like he said. So why sit here and play with somebody that's not gonna be on the program? You know, it's just like you telling a worker, I got this construction spot for 6 months and we gotta go hard and get this done. And then they don't want to show up to work. You gonna get rid of their ass because you want another person to come in that's gonna help you get it done in the timeline. And that's no different than life. So I get what he's saying.
Yeah, I do too. Like, here's the thing. And that's the beauty of life, right? We don't know when our last moment comes. But we should always live every day as if it is our last. So therefore, it goes back to that reference I said earlier. Time is money, and money is time. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, he has 54 years of life already. He's feeling like I have less time in front of me than I have behind me.
Exactly.
So he's playing the game a lot different than somebody, let's say, in their 20s or 30s. You know, like myself, I have no children. So I'm going to see things a little differently. I know, you know, other people with children are going to see things slightly different. So it's like, you know, how do we make all this work? And like going back to your other point where it's like, how do you feel about somebody who comes at you and says this is their boundaries, this is what it is, or they're being aggressive? That's a part of communication, right?
Yep.
That tells you how and what they think, how they think about things, and how they're going about their life. It's either one or two things you got to do with that. Either find out that I agree to what they're saying, and you sign up and say, hey, I can go along with this ride, knowing this is how you are, or you say this is not what I can handle. Exactly. That's just it. I mean, you can play around with a variation of either one and say, well, maybe I'll get there and all that, but I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's where the games come into play. As we being honest, that's why I say either you with the train or you not.
So how do you feel about, like, I know me and you been, you know, cousins all our lives and shit. And, right. You know, we met a lot of people in college and stuff like that. So, like, if you get married within the next 2-3 years, would it be hard for you to let go of all, you know, because we know a lot of women from different parts of the country. Would it be hard for you to, like, let go of the women if your wife want that? Like, you know, your little friends from California, you know, Pennsylvania, you know. I wanted to ask you this, so now I got you on the spot. So,
hey, man, let me put myself out there on this.
I'm just saying, though, how should people migrate with that? Because today,
right? I said like this. If I'm putting my trust into you, and you putting your trust into me, and we building this as a team, and you come to me and you give me what I'll call your boundaries, what your boundaries are. I'm still gonna have that same approach that I can either do what you say and it makes it work for me, or I can't. Like for me, like you say, in a couple of years, could I put, let's say, stop having so many friends? I can. But I'm also saying that based on we both doing the same type of thing. And there's always going to be a conversation that goes along with it, because every friendship is not always about, so you got to make sure it's almost like you got to understand, where is that coming from? Is that coming from insecurity and jealousy? Or is that coming from because, this person doesn't want you to, let's say call it creep in the street, have a maintenance dude or a side piece or whatever. Like, you got to really get down to the nitty gritty of what it is.
So,
but if we just overall, like, I just want to feel like, there's no, I guess, outside influences. Yeah, I mean, I get it, but here's the thing. I mean, once again, you got to make sure your foundation is straight. If that works for you, great. If it don't work for you, you need to be honest and upfront with it. And I think the problem is we try to use this, one size fits all thing on every relationship, and it's not like that. Like, I hate to say it, like, you look at the Will and Jada situation, right? They got an open relationship in a lot of ways. And that's okay for them. It works for them. You ain't never hear about, let's say, a Denzel Washington and his wife having that same type of situation. Now, I don't know them to say they do or they don't, but I'm saying you don't hear that. Yeah. So what works for Will and Jada may not work for Denzel. What work for you may not work for me, and vice versa. So it's like you gotta, like I say, long story short, you gotta make sure the person that you with, whatever boundaries they set or they say that's their boundaries, does that work for you?
So do you believe everybody one DM away from cheating?
It ain't even a DM that makes you cheat. That's already in you.
But I'm just saying, do you feel like back in the day when my mom and my daddy was married or whatever, before my dad passed away, long story short is back in the day, like, we didn't have these devices when you could find somebody you went to high school with 20 years ago on the internet.
I heard this said by an old person, man, the game don't change. You know what I'm saying? The thing was, okay, people had what they had called it black books. You know what I'm saying? You knew where to find people at. They had their bars. They had their drinking spots. People did the same thing they doing now back then. That's why they said Granddaddy had another family on the other side of the tracks. It ain't that it's something different now. I think it is more accessible, and there's more ways to probably hide the shit.
Hold on, I'm about to add somebody in. Yo,
Stacks, where we at, baby?
Man, we in here talking about I just asked my cousin, he on here. I was saying he said the game haven't changed from the past, but I feel like people are one DM away from cheating when they're in relationships, because a lot of times, you can go back, back in the day in the 70s and 80s, you can go back and find somebody from high school after high school. He said you can go to places and neighborhoods or bars and stuff like that and run into that person. But now people got access to their fingertips of people you graduated 20 years ago. And I feel like sometimes if your relationship and, in a challenging time, you could easily get on Instagram or Facebook and reconnect with an old ex on the internet. And he said,
yeah, that's real shit.
I believe that it's pretty much the same, but I feel like it's a little bit different these days. That's how I feel. Well,
put it like this: the technology has definitely made it easier to do, but it ain't like they ain't do it before. Like, okay, see, I'll say it like this: we got family members that had kids and was married, and they didn't have kids with their spouses. You see what I'm saying? And that was back in the day.
Yeah.
And that's what most people's families. Like, it wasn't uncommon for your grandfather to have some kids, not grandfather, it could be grandmother. They didn't have another set of kids somewhere else. and y'all all played around and called each other cousin. But when you sit there and did the math, you're like, hold on, my mama was her. How we cousin? How we family? But it was because of, like I say, people did what they did. Like, think about it. Most old heads know about the clap and all them type of STDs and stuff like that. Why do you think they knew about it? They was doing the same thing we was doing. The thing is, like I say, technology has made it where have more access to it, and you can find you ain't got to go for just somebody who you went to school with. Hell, you can do it with a coworker, and that's what some of them guys did too. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? It's not that it's changed. It's just more readily accessible.
Okay. So Mike, yeah, we here talking about you can't change people and things like that. And I always say you gotta have that relationship with yourself before you recognize the love that anybody else will have for you as a man or a woman. So how do you feel about people, or I know everybody comes to YouTube platform because they've been through something and it's damn near related to changing your own life or being a part of something that you was with somebody that you couldn't change and it brought you to this platform. So how do you feel about that?
I mean, after seeing your teachings and a few others, aside from Coach Warren, you know what I'm saying, and your teachers and everything like that, your shit is doing definitely some real shit along with Coach Warren. But your shit, you got two different learning styles, you know what I'm saying, that I managed to put together myself. And most of all, aside from having, I don't mean to get religious or nothing like that, but having love in yourself and with God. You know what I'm saying? When you have more love for yourself, that's why a lot of people don't love themselves now. You got to be more with God or who you believe in and have more love for yourself, because you could try to change people, you could try to lead them to the water, but you can't make them drink. They're going to be who they're going to be at the end of the day. So it's up to you to love yourself and deal with what you're willing to deal with. And if you're not willing to deal with them or accept them who they are, just bounce and find somebody else who is that. You know what I'm saying? What you're looking for, rather than the person that's not going to be making any kind of changes no time soon till they in a hole, till they dead. You know what I'm saying? You got to have love for yourself.
Wholeheartedly, bro. Mike, I don't know you from a can of paint, but bro, that's what I was getting at with Stack. I was like, man, you talking about you want DM? The DM ain't got nothing to do with it. Like the Bible says, well, your book says temptation ain't stopped because of your faith. Everybody got to go through it. It's about how you respond to it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say, if you decide to step out or do something that was contrary to your relationship, that was already in you. That ain't had nothing to do with the temptation. Like, it's just like it's just like seeing a beautiful woman at the mall. Like, all right, Alicia Keys is married. Most men would agree Alicia Keys looks attractive. You telling me, even knowing that she's married to Swiss Beats, you wouldn't shoot your shot? Tell me that with a straight face.
I mean, honestly, if I know who she's with, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know a lot of people going to shoot their shot, but I mean, hey, it is what it is. Me personally, I wouldn't.
I'm just saying, like, you see a woman, I always mention her because that's my crush, but I'm saying, if I see somebody who I think is attractive, regardless of what I got going on at the crib, if I like it, I'm going to shoot a shot. That's already in me. Even if, and now here's the thing, I have to know in my mind, if I'm not committed to my person I'm at home with, then it ain't no holds barred. But if I am, I could then, like you say, I can appreciate the beauty, but keep it moving.
Yeah. So what y'all feel about this? My boy Brent, he said, I went on a date with a female. She literally showed me her phone. She had 100 unread messages. Laugh out loud. These females got mad options. How y'all feel about that?
Everybody got options. That's, like you said, the whole thing with the internet. Not phone books, Facebook, Instagram, like, all you got to do is have, warm blood in your veins. You got at least 2 or 3 people that's going to be at you.
This is my theory, though. Like, okay, I understand that, there are a lot of beautiful chicks in the world. They got their options, but men, we have our options later on in life, providing that we work on ourselves along to have those options to come to us. We don't necessarily have to go out there. When you have enough options and you worked on yourself, the woman will come to you. Whatever is owed to you will come to you. All you got to do is just be patient. As far as that chick that he went out on the date with, I would say stay away from her because she seems like she's an attention whore. Like she wants attention, but she's showing it. But you got to remember, what is she doing to make other dudes lust and thirst over her? Does she dress damn near half naked? Does she not have any respect for herself? Or, certain shit like that, you got to ask those questions before you start dealing with those kind of females that you're dealing with. If you deal with a chick that's of quality, if that's what you want, she won't be doing all of that. She'd be, if anything, trying to impress you, not show how many niggas that she's got hanging over or lusting over her, because that shows that she's low quality, and if she's showing her ass, she may not have much to offer you, bro.
I mean, I'll say it like this. I agree a lot, or majority of what you said. I will say this, though. For any woman who has any value, regardless if it's just mainly looks, is it intelligence in looks? Is it like the overall, she is, cream of the crop? I mean, let's just be honest. She's going to have people just like anybody else. Like, men, first of all, like men as who we are in essence, we're always the hunter. I mean, there's not a chick who I can say that don't have at least somebody that they can call. I do agree with the point of having like 100 unread messages, but here's the thing. One reason why I may say I might give her a shot is because A, she gave me the opportunity to come into her space to get to know her, right? B, she showed you what it is. Like, listen, if I was on some dumb stuff, I could pick any one of these niggas. Because that's what she basically just told you. But I'm giving you the time and opportunity to say, hey, I would get this to you, I'm talking about herself, if you play your cards right or if you do the right things. So, I mean, I think that's nothing but a respectful move. It's like, I'd rather know my chick has options than feel like she don't and she do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I look at it like, hey, it's game recognized game. Like, listen, you can do what you do, but I can do what I can too.
So
that's true. Thanks.
So he said, he put in the chat, he said he hit it and quit it. He pumped and dumped that bitch. So.
My man. I mean, but like I say, see, here's the thing. Everybody come across like that and may not be on the same wavelength. So it's so hard to really say one way or another. But hey, I'm glad he found out the right.
But it depends. I mean, it depends what the aura and the conversation was. If she was basically like, I have a lot of guys. If she was boasting on it, then yeah, she deserved to get pumped and dumped. Now, if she was like, I'm getting hounded by guys and just being like, I want something real, and and on that, and if she was on that aspect, and then she was like, look at my phone, I can't even keep up with this shit, and then she was showing them like that, then I get that she probably wants something serious. But if she basically like, I got options, I got any type of guy could have came down with me tonight and just show him the phone. Look at me, I got 100 unread messages. Hell yeah. If opportunity presents itself, you are going to get pumped and dumped because you just showed me you ain't serious. So, women are the gatekeepers of sex. So, and we are gatekeepers of marriage and relationships as men. So that's the reason why we got to realize that we are the prize in the long run. They can have stuff short term, but the man is the guy that's going to make sure it becomes a long-term thing. And that's with the relationships or marriage. Women, you don't see women, you kind of do now, but women do get on one knee and ask a man for marriage. But 9 times out of 10, well, 9 times out of 10, 90% of the time you'll see a man proposing to a woman. But,
Man, you only see that shit for photo ops. She ain't never seen that shit in a day of your life, man.
I don't know what's on YouTube.
I think chicks propose to men because now the dating game, aside from the dating game, the marriage game has truly declined. truly declined at its lowest point. And you see chicks begging for dudes to marry them. And once they mention anything about a ring and they haven't shown that true value over the course of time, gone. You see that dude less and less.
Listen, I don't know nobody in my camp who will sit there and even accept a chick proposal. So we'll joke around like, yeah, hell yeah, we want to see it, but hell no. And at the end of the day, I mean, like you say, it's that you are the man. You're a man, right? You have a certain role to play. People don't like hearing that word, but let's just call it what it is. For me to be head of my household, I got to damn sure say I want her to be in my household. I can't have me living in another person's castle. Like, what type of shit is that gonna make? Because if she proposed to you, what that mean? She gonna buy the house and she gonna tell you what to do? Like, come on. I mean, I'm not gonna say she can't do it, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, she shouldn't do it.
That's so far out of order, man.
That's out of natural order.
The man who's worth his salt wouldn't put himself in that kind of position.
The man is the head, the woman is the neck. That's the natural order. Yeah. If a man of God have submission towards the Lord and he have his own mission, he should get submission from his future wife. Period. But at the end of the day, that's another conversation because we got a lot of women that feel like submission is slavery, and it's not.
Well, here's the thing, right? I mean, I ain't trying to take over, but it's like here's the thing with that, right? If you've been, it's almost like somebody who's been taught incorrectly, right? If you've seen the shit done incorrectly or wrong, you're gonna think that way. Like it's like a kid telling somebody like they're not gonna know how to tell you how to do some shit. You learn a submission from a chick on social media or on one of these TV shows. That ain't real shit.
Oh man,
and that's where shit comes from. Like like
you'll see who's the followers and shit. Who's the
right? Like another chick is telling you some shit that she don't even believe. Like, come on with that. Right. I don't do that. I don't do this. I don't do that. Like what they say in what? I don't cook and I don't clean, but let me show you how I got this ring. All right, I don't know how many people I know. I can't fuck with a chick or even marry a chick who ain't cooking and cleaning. I get the but
I wouldn't even want her to be in my presence. I wouldn't even stick my ding-a-ling at her because she's not worth it. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be real shit. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. 100 niggas all across the board. It don't matter if you international or not. If a chick ain't following your program to be along with your purpose, and she's saying, "Oh, I don't want to be a slave," then be free and be nothing. Because I don't want to be nothing with you. I just leave that shit the way it is. Be free, so-called be free and be nothing. Because if you haven't noticed, we both came off the same boat. So as far as all of that slavery shit, you'll find out what slavery really is when that new world order sets foot in and says you got to wear the fucking masks on and all that other bullshit. Then you'll see what real slavery is about. Because if you haven't noticed, we've all been in chains. We've all been there. We all are still corporately tied to one another to this corporation that we call America. For a person to say that shit and have that dumb shit come out of their mouth, everybody has to answer to somebody sometime. If you expect to be a part of a team and to actually have built something, then you claim where all the good men went. Nobody wants to listen to that shit. That shit is a reverse psychological endearment, or how to trick people into trying to be submissive to you. It's reverse psychology. Oh, I don't want to listen to what you said. Then bitch, why get in a relationship then?
Right.
You said you want to get free. Why get in a relationship? You realize relationships are relationship. In other words, relations, that means you have to be cooperative to one another. You're in a partnership. And then that's why people pump and dump like the dude that was earlier.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times, like you said, Will, a lot of times women have to see something. But I do have an issue when I see a lot of times women that do have fathers, they be so glad they ain't in his household. So, and I think there's a lack of respect because some women have fathers and they don't understand that their father is the cheat code of helping them find a husband. And they'll go off and date a dude 3, 4, 5 months and build this attachment without then the father meet him 5, 6 months down the line, which is wrong because if you understand, the father is the guy that's gonna fucking help you vet out if this dude's serious or not, and he sets the tone. Like if I meet a dude, a father, when I first started dating a young lady, I know like, okay, she different. Her father met me before we even started like, dealing with each other. Do y'all feel like being grown, is that played out, or that should still be a form of respect that the father should be involved when you dating his daughter?
To be honest with you, I'm gonna let you go first, bro. But I got some real serious shit for y'all. But I want y'all to hear my own shit. Go ahead, bro.
So here's my thing, right? For let me say, not even calling her father. Let's say any male positive role model is in her life. For her to want to introduce you to him and him to you.
But no, I'm just saying, should she use that before dating? Like, I'm just saying, like, not because she want to do it, she should use it because she got that trump card, period, so she won't be fucked with, a female to be fucked with. That's what I'm saying.
Well, no. Like I say, it depends on how she wants it. Like I say, the example I'm going to give you is going to be based on y'all. They had X amount of time they've been talking. Maybe it's 2-3 months, what have you. If she has a positive role model life, maybe a father, maybe a stepfather, maybe an uncle, whatever. And he's a positive role model. The reason I keep emphasizing positive, because a lot of chicks are around some niggas who really, they trying to fuck them too. And that's just called what it is. That clouds the situation. But if she got somebody who's positive, she's trying to introduce you to them, she's telling you that, yeah, they're like, it is good. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I want. I want something that's serious. I want somebody who's going to be real. I don't want to have to go to him asking about the dumb shit that we're going through, because that's what she's saying. Yeah. So, if she got that, great. Because at least I would have taken that he at least is imparting into her good, sound information about how to deal with guys. You know what I'm saying? Because let's just call it what it is. How many of our own friends, homies, or whatever, they on some dumb shit, and they take a good girl and they make her fucking bad because they try to play all the fucking games with her. So for me, like I say, she got that type of situation where she got somebody who's in her life who can tell her some shit, and like she can like take the good along with the bad. Like she can hear like, this is a good situation, or no, this ain't what you want to work with, and she's able to make good decisions off of that. More power to you, baby girl.
All right.
True.
Well, I'm just saying in general, like, I feel like women drop the ball in this category. Before you go, Mike, I just want to say sometimes women have a strong brother, father, and they should use it, but they use it after they went through this trauma bond with this dude they've been dating. They should set the tone with the positive male figures in their life to be like, look, if you're going to date me, I need you to meet my brother, my daddy, my homeboy, whoever that can help her vet this dude out, or basically show that you're going to bring respect if you're going to fuck with her. And a lot of times women, they drop the ball on this shit, and then they get attached to a nothing ass nigga, and then they complaining about their mom, their brothers, and their daddy and all that, but they should have led with that in the first place.
Fucking facts.
So
let me break it down for y'all. There's some real shit, but go ahead. I'm gonna let you.
I'm just saying in general is I see this in the community these days that women don't use the male figures in their life when they should use them from the jump. And the women I know that do this, those are the women that have positive results with men and end up getting married. Because at the end of the day, if a dude know he on bullshit, but then all of a sudden he got to meet the brother, the daddy, the uncle, he like, fuck this. Either I'm in or I'm out. That's what I'm saying. That's the biggest shit test a woman can use against a man from the jump, is using the positive role models in her life. Did y'all ever, you ever think about it like that? Like if a woman really, like if I start dating her like the third date, and then she take me to meet her damn daddy or her brother, don't you feel some type of responsibility and pressure to not to be 100 with her after that though? Even if you was on bullshit?
That's true.
I was saying, Stack. Say that last part. You kind of broke up on my.
Nah, I said, if she brought you to her brother, her father, like after the third date, if you was on bullshit, you would either say, you know what, I can't handle this. She basically shit testing you to let you know that at the end of the day, no matter if we work out or not, don't be coming here playing games with me because I got these male figures in my life. Not saying they're gonna whoop your ass or anything, but she set the tone for her respect, you know. And so a lot of women drop the ball on this and they don't use that until after they get with the playboy. Then they want to complain to their brother, their daddy, their uncle. But you should have led with your fucking responsible role models in your life.
That's true. That's true. Mike, let me hear your piece before I say come back with something.
All right, cool. All right, so Stacks, homeboy, yo, I want y'all to hear this shit right here. All right, so now, one of my exes that I dealt with, right? Dealt with her for about 2 years, right? I'm gonna put y'all a little on something. I'm gonna put y'all on some quick game. It's true what you did say though, Stacks. If you do bring somebody in and you get to meet the father or whatever like that, you know, you have a certain responsibility to uphold. But a lesson that I've learned through my experience is if the father is a irresponsible individual, I'm not gonna say he was a shit. If he was an irresponsible individual, that kind of shit would reflect on the daughter, on how she's taught and how she let things go down, especially if the mother is irresponsible too. So now you have two irresponsible parents that are teaching her on how to go about the way to implement her own demise. Now, as far as me, I was trying to be responsible. I'm speaking from my own experience. I can't speak for anybody else, so I'm going to spit some real shit on y'all. If you have certain things that you're going through and you have certain responsibilities, like bills being paid, car notes being paid, shit you got to handle. You got to handle them. But if you got the right individuals in her life that's supposed to be teaching her, but they're her family members, you know, blood is thicker than water, and they're teaching her the wrong shit, she's obviously going to go in that direction off a cliff. So it depends on if the parents are like-minded and they got a good head on their shoulders to have some kind of strong, stable enforcement on guiding her in a positive way, not in a negative way. Because if they're going to guide her in a negative way, then she's fucked up. And if she's fucked up and she lets you meet them, and then like a dude like me, they're like, yo, I can't deal with this shit no more. Just like you said, Stack, to say, hey, look, I can't deal with this shit no more. I'm gone. I've had enough. I'm not going to fuck up the rest of my life for you. And then you leave them alone, and then they want to blame everybody else in the world for their wrongdoings that they know they have to have. What's that? I don't hear y'all ladies, accountability. Gotta have some accountability on the shit. And the shit's real serious. And I think that's another reason why the communities are so fucked up, because they had good dudes in their life, just like the man is the head, woman is the neck on the body. But if she's not willing to follow, not everybody's going to be able to follow on that journey or that good route that you got going to end up where you want to end up. Some people don't want to end up where you want to end up, like in a bad way. They don't want the positive shit. They want the crunchy bum, you know, dusty butt niggas. Excuse my French.
So they
that's
want,
the way it is.
They want the build up there.
If the father's a dusty, crunchy butt nigga and the mother is a thought, and they get together, they're gonna teach the daughter and the you know, they're gonna teach the daughter, the sons, and all that shit how to be fucked up, how to be negative.
But to be honest though, I ain't
it's kind of my fault because I got involved with her after getting to know her. So you know, I had some accountability to learn. Yeah, I fucked up from that, getting involved with her. So I gotta learn from that mistake.
But I ain't trying to cut you off, but you'll feel that energy of, you know, like I said, when you know, I said that on the list, you'll know from her parents and family, childhood, her self-love, you'll feel that energy no matter who she try to introduce you to. If she got bad energy or family ties and just way she move, you ain't gonna want to meet shit anyway. You gonna run as a man anyway. Like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to meet nobody where you come from if she got that type of energy anyway.
But peep the game though. Peep this, yo. When you know where you feel like you're the only black sheep amongst all the other white sheep, not bringing color into it, but you notice the way how a person's train of thought, their mind capacitates and they bring certain shit into the situation. Certain shit that they would do, you would think twice about it, be like, nah, I wouldn't do that shit. Like, why are they doing this? Why are they making moves? That's the kind of energy, like you said, that I felt. That I'm like, yo, I do not fucking belong here. How did I get here? It was like a Twilight Zone. You know, certain shit that you would think, you'd be like, man, I wouldn't do that shit. And they're like, yeah, man, I would do that. I don't give a fuck about that. It's like, nah, I don't belong here. That's it. I'm getting my shit. I'm getting the fuck up out of here. That's how I felt. And that's why I had to dip. Because that's why I had drew the line. I knew that the energy wasn't there, or the energy, the vibes, the frequencies that they were on spiritually did not incline with mine.
Oh yeah.
They did.
You definitely gotta be on
That's what I gotta say about that.
You gotta definitely be on the same wavelength spiritually, equally yoked. A lot of times people say equally yoked a lot, but they don't realize the things that come along with equally yoked. It comes along with the spirituality, it comes along with your attraction, a lot of things, your money, your sexuality. All that has to be something that's, equally yoked that actually, complement each other, not complicate each other. And, relationships is work, and like I said, a lot of times people feed the ego with all these options on these dating apps and social media and feel like the grass could be greener on the other side. But sometimes, end of the day, people don't want to water their own grass. They just want to feel like, hey, I got options. I can run over here. And then they realize those options are just like keeping up with the Joneses. Because sometimes when older we get, the more we accumulate nice things. And once we get it, we like, damn, that's it. Same thing with people. You think, you better off dealing with the foundation you built with somebody than run over trying to redo another foundation or redo another renovation. Like Tate said earlier, is like, a lot of times just work within yourself and the person you with. But you gotta, like, the big thing is cooperation on both sides. And that's what's wrong with relationships. A lot of times we not trying to be cooperative and work through whatever we gotta work through, because a bad patch gonna come, but it shall pass if you work on it. If you run away from it, then you're gonna get more, you're gonna push yourself down the wrong road more and more in your life, and you're gonna be scared to do the work. And that's when the therapy comes in. What you want to say, Tate?
No, my whole thing is, I almost got lost in my thought. But it's just like, what you gonna do? A lot of people try to take their own destiny and their own journey into their own hands, right? For a lot of different reasons. And it's to your point, Mike, like, she can't heed to what somebody else is trying to impart in her. Like I say, that's why I always give the difference of good, positive influence in her life. Then yeah, it's gonna be jacked up. But a lot of times, like I say, people try to take their own stuff into their own hands. Then they start crying when the shit don't work out. It's like you try to do something you can't do.
Yeah. And
you gotta be able to.
This is what I noticed though. The way, like, at times when I would try to tell certain people or try to reason with certain people, you can only tell them so much.
Right.
But instead of trying to talk with them and trying to reason with them all the time, I noticed the best results that you could ever do to a person that ever fucked you over, spoke to you in the wrong way, or just straight up disrespected you. Best thing to do is to just give them your silence, to just walk away. When you walk away and you don't say nothing, don't argue with them, don't even talk to them. Just be like, just walk away. When you walk away, and that's it, said and done, then they learn. Then not only that, they respect you, because they're like, yo, he's not arguing no more. He's accepting for whatever went down, and now he's made himself a different way. He just turned over a whole new leaf, a whole new chapter, and that makes him think a lot. What did I ever do? Oh, okay, yeah, I did that to him. That's why he ain't talking to me. Well, it ain't the fact that he's hurt. It ain't the fact that he went through some shit. It's just the fact that now he's not even walking. He's not running his mouth. He's walking with his feet. He's thinking with his feet now, because he's like, yo, I'm totally done with you. When you're totally done with somebody, you cut them off like that, where there's no contact at all. That's a sign right there.
Well, that's the biggest medicine you could give to a woman, because women are emotional and they used to always having it their way and accountability. But if you walk away, like I did a video saying never argue with women, if you just walk away or willing to leave a relationship, she will stop shit testing you, because she like, this dude won't argue with me. A woman feeds off of your emotion as a man. If you get emotional like a woman with her, she gonna know she got your ass. But if you walk away from the situation, that's the biggest thing you could do, because they can't, sometimes women can't believe if you just shut them down. That's why they like the bad boys, because the bad boys ain't trying to hear shit what they talking about, and they gonna do things their way and tell them to shut the fuck up, and they want to be put in their fucking place. A lot of times, beta males get emotional and crying like Tupac was doing in that Poetic Justice, arguing with fucking Janet Jackson for no damn reason, and she said they gonna fuck you up, and he was crying like he was saying fuck you bitch, but she knocked him in his feminine, and at the end of the day, he later down the line he showed restraint in the movie, but that's just the fucking movies. A woman ain't gonna have no respect for you. You gotta argue with her like a woman. At the end of the day, we supposed to be logical. We supposed to be the problem solvers. If she got to argue about some shit, that means you might not be doing nothing right, or you might be just basically giving her what she wants so you can be in the feminine role. So then, it's really the biggest shit test you ever do. The best thing is to walk away. If you got the strength to walk away, that's showing her ass you ain't on the pedestal, because I got options and somebody else about to get this masculine energy. That's what I want to say on that one. But so I'm gonna jump back into this 5 dumb things love make you do. Another thing I think that make a person that basically you can't change to try to change you, try to trap you, is how y'all feel about when a person either co-sign for a car or co-sign for an apartment or move in together. A lot of times people when they move in together or co-sign or a car or do stuff like that, I feel like those people, that's a recipe for disaster sometimes, because a lot of times, people feel like they got you when they got you on a certain type of contract outside of marriage. How you feel about that? I mean, I think it's a simple move if you buy a car for a lady and then you think you're gonna keep her. But how you feel about that? I'm gonna start with Will.
Hey, Mike, you go ahead. You lead on that one. I'll come behind you.
All right, any kind of contract to get somebody tied up in. What do you mean as far as like go ahead and co-sign it, like letting them have their way, or?
I'm saying like a lot of times, I feel like a person will overextend themselves and say, yeah, you go ahead and move in with me, or not even say move in with me. Let's get a place together. And, sometimes when people live together, that'd be the biggest mistake they ever made. But when they feel like you got your name on the lease, my name on the lease, that makes a person feel like they got control to be who the fuck they want to be. That's like a bait and switch. A lot of times a woman will bait a man in because she can find that financial stability. They'll sign a lease together and she say, oh, I got somewhere to stay for another 14 months. Or he helped me buy this car. He co-signed. Now I'm gonna tell him I come up short on my shit, and then he gonna have to pay the car note anyway because it's in his name too. How you feel about that bait and switch when people try to trap you on the bait and switch thing?
Yeah, I think that's like the lowest of the low. Like a person could be downright fucking scum to do some shit like that. And I think the main reason why they do it is because they have no other option, or they feel the need to have somebody under their thumb. And I think that is like the lowest form of honor that anybody could ever do. I think, honestly, I don't think that person ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Their mother should have swallowed them. Because they're nothing but a problem in the playboy society. To everyone else and every other fucking thing that's trying to thrive and survive, their mother should have swallowed them. For real. No more bait and switch. If anything, that shit is nowadays, now that the situation that we under this pandemic, doing some shit like that to get you killed or found missing or some shit like that. I'm not trying to say this like I'm gonna do it or anybody else should do it, but that is the lowest form of honor that anybody could ever do to somebody else. To hey, let's do this, and fucking fuck them over like that. And the worst part about it is, like I said, the vibrations are there. The man upstairs is there. Nothing goes unchecked, man. Everything, the world is 360. So any fucked up shit that they do to you or anyone else, they got it coming to them tenfold, right up the ass with no grease.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Damn, how do I follow up with that shit? Hey, I mean, it's one of those things, right? Like, you gotta know who the hell you dealing with in the first place, which is hard as fuck as it is, right? That's why we kind of do. You have these shows. It's the reason why you promote knowing who you are first, right?
Yeah.
Because, like I said before, you can't come to somebody as a half and give them a whole. So if you don't know who the hell you are, hell no. That's the last, like you say, Mike, that's the last thing you ever need to do is go try to tie yourself to somebody else. Now, here's the thing, right? Every situation is different, like I always will say. Some situations is beneficial if you trust that situation. If you talk to your creator, your God, and your God kind of puts in your spirit that this person is y'all on the same team, and it's not just we doing this shit just so we can struggle together like struggle love shit, but like we really got a plan and we got a motion and we got a direction. Then okay, maybe that situation is more preferable. But as Mike said, man, you can't put all your eggs in one basket. No, you ain't got a damn basket nor really any type of footing or security to for that shit. So me personally, I don't rock with it. But I mean, to each his own to that. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people who do it, and for the most part, they're successful. But for somebody who's doing it just to get over on somebody, I mean, I hope the worst, man. I hope you hit your toe, you stub your toe when you get out of bed every morning, just to kind of let you know, you try to set somebody up, and this ain't the way to do it. You know what I'm saying? Damn well, if you ain't trying to pay that car off, you just using somebody else's credit because they got good credit. I mean, but then again, somebody will say, well, they let me do it, so who's really wrong in this shit? So, I mean, like I said, it goes both ways. You got to know a person's intentions, and you just got to really know who you're trying to rock with. Shit is hard out here.
So, dude, I remember I met a female, and she told me, if a man let me do things and I know it's wrong, I'm still gonna do it. How you feel about that mentality?
Well, there you go. Hey, what Mike say? Your mom should have swallowed you? Shit. I mean, it's you gotta have integrity, right? You gotta be able to know that even if nobody's watching, you do the right thing, because I don't give a fuck about who you is and what type of person you is. At the end of the day, if you don't trust the person you trying to lay up next to, that shit ain't going no motherfucking way. That's just nothing but just, I'm bored. So if you're on that type of time, and I mean, like I say, that's something that comes out in your actions. That comes out in how you do certain things. I mean, you ain't gotta, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta even go down that you ain't even gotta go all the way down that block to know what that is.
Yeah, you're right.
It's just like when we went to Chicago that one time. We looked around. We like, man, we can't kick it here. Like, we went to that club. We didn't even get out the car. I don't need to. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, nah, this ain't my party. So it's just like you gotta have that type of thing with people. Like Mike said, hey, you know who you're around. Shit, you know, there's certain feelings. I mean, like I said, I live in Philly. You know what I'm saying? You live where you stay. You know, Mike say where he stays. There's certain places that you know that when you go, it ain't your type of spot.
Exactly. Facts.
It just ain't your spot. And then no sooner something happens, you like, damn, I knew I shouldn't have been in this bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I probably can't say that. I knew I shouldn't have been in this joke.
Yeah. Nah, it's all good, man. Okay, so I know I'm gonna end this talking about self-love and stuff because mastering self-love is so important. And I don't feel like you can truly say you got mastering your self-love if you holding on to grudges from the past. A lot of times people say they love themselves, but you gotta love by loving yourself, you gotta, like I said, you gotta recommit that commitment to yourself every day. And that's the good days, the bad days, all the way to that slash until you leave this earth. A lot of times I feel like when we hold back from the past and look behind, you can't see shit towards your future because you're looking behind. So sometimes I feel like people are in your life for a reason and a season. And we gotta accept the good times that person brought to me and the bad things that person brought to me and just move on. Because if we hold on to that grudge, we will use that grudge against the next person that come along. Because a lot of times people, you block your own blessings by not forgiving somebody else that crossed you, and that's a part of self-love that I want to touch on before we leave this live stream is, you can't really say you fully master yourself if you can't forgive nobody else. And if you hold on some things that's going to affect you in the future, and it's going to affect your outlook on people in general. Like, we all been burned, we all been hurt, but at the end of the day, we all need to love ourselves. And then, because if you expect God to love you, he gonna love your enemy as well. So that's what I really wanted to put out there. Of mastering self-love is mastering the art of forgiveness of people that burnt you, because those are the people that's helping you move forward, and it's shaping you for the person and shaping your character to move on, to express your testimony to help somebody else. Somebody hearing what I'm saying right now is holding on something that they should let go, because at the end of the day, just like one of my first videos, I said, easy to let go and let God deal with it. And if you trust in the Lord, that person that wronged you will actually get better, and then you got to be open for that person's apology. So that's what I want to say.
Yeah, I'll tell you like this stuff. Here's the thing about forgiveness. A lot of people don't want to own up to forgiveness, or let's say extend forgiveness, because that then means that you gotta also be forgiving yourself, and you gotta also take acknowledgement that you may have caused, some of what happened to you.
Exactly.
And a lot of people don't want to take on that responsibility of saying, you know what, maybe I did have a part in this. Because it's so easy to point the finger and be like, well, you did this, you did that. But seldom do people ever sit back and say, well, did I cause any of this? Don't get me wrong. It's a pill to swallow. You know what I'm saying? Like, I done had to go back to people and tell them I'm sorry for how I acted or what I did or what happened. Not because I had to, but I chose to because it helped me. Like you said, it helps you. It's a tough pill to swallow, though. When you sitting there and you in your zone, and you like, damn, I was kind of jacked up on this. I was kind of foul on that. And like, the last thing I ever want to do, me personally, is not extend forgiveness, because I know how important it is to get forgiveness. And like, I think a lot of people don't want to deal with it because, like I said, they don't want to own up to, like, we don't want to be wrong.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we want to be like the ones, I told you, this and that. I told you I ain't do nothing wrong. Like, it was all your fault. And it's like, no, you had a part in that. Maybe your part wasn't as big as theirs, but you had a part. Like, I tell people all the time, it takes two people to end a relationship. It's not just a one-person thing. And that's it.
Facts. How you feel about that, Mike? Do we still got Mike?
Hold on. I'm still here. Yeah, you can go ahead and continue. I'll tell, but hold on.
All right. But yeah, it do take two people to end a relationship, just like it take two people to start a relationship. Sometimes you do hire and fire people in your life. But at the same time, the people that that you hired, they still got a paycheck at at some point. And basically what I mean like that is basically when you hire somebody in your life and they do good works, you catch good blessings with a person, but at the same time, it's always a reason for a season. And sometimes we have to accept the season, just like if you look at Cam Newton playing in 2015, he was MVP of that season. That don't mean he's gonna be the MVP in 2020. He looked back on that season, it was a great season, but what about all the other seasons that wasn't good as that season? You can't let one season of your life define you, good or bad, because that's what happens in life, just like sports. You look at when Michael Jordan came back and he didn't perform well and they lost, it drives him to be great, because greatness comes from your failures. And a lot of times what I see on YouTube is a lot of times guys get red pill rage and they get all this shit. But like you said, at the end of the day, when you interact in any type of relationship, you played a part to it. You somebody didn't hand tie you and say, go with her or do this or do that. You literally have to go ahead and you got to vet out people correctly. And that's what the self-improvement comes from, because a lot of times we want to point the finger because everything didn't go as we planned it to go. And things ain't going to plan as it go. You got to strategically make changes and work within yourself on a daily basis to understand the world, period, and understand the people you need to put around you. And I think a lot of times, like you said, people don't want to do the renovation in their life. They know the renovation is going to look ugly, but eventually that's the key of renovation. That's the beauty of it, is taking something apart and putting it together, putting it back to pieces.
I'm glad that, learning the shit that I know now, rather than having to deal with certain people, the lessons that I learned in life by dealing with certain people and how to deal with them accordingly. Like, most of all, it starts with you. It starts with acceptance. As far as the whole forgiveness thing, I was listening on that. And, I'm going to make a clear statement. God forgives. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I have to look for forgiveness within myself and learn a lesson that, I had something to do with it. I contributed to it. And I have to look for within the forgiveness from within myself to forgive others that have wronged me. I'm not saying I'm always the one that's in the right. At the end of the day, we all did what we had to do. And at the same time, I asked the Lord for forgiveness first. Forgive me, Father, for I know what I might have done. I know what I might not have done. But most of all, please help me into being a better person and to learn from all of this to making myself a better person forever and a day. You know what I'm saying? Amen. But as far as for the ones that didn't follow through, that's on them. You can't change nobody. You could only make sure you make the best situation for yourself for the better. Yeah. And that's real shit.
Well, I always just say like this: you can't change nobody, but at the end of the day, like I just said, you can't be closed-minded for somebody else's forgiveness. Like if I go back and tell somebody I'm sorry, don't mean I'm trying to get back with them. I'm just trying to apologize and keep it moving. That's it. So if you could do that, you gotta be open to it as well, because at the end of the day, if God forgive us for everything we fall short from, we gotta forgive others that fall short to us as well. So that's just how I feel, especially if you're a man of God, because that same person that wronged you and you holding a grudge, and you might have a kid or something at a grocery store and he walking across and somebody about to run him over, that same person that you have a grudge against because it saved your child, then you'll be forced. God will make you do things that you don't want to do. He will make you be like, dang, this is a person I really, despise, but this person just saved my child's life or anything. I know it's a little tangent, but it's the truth. Like sometimes he'll put things inside you and you don't know where it come from, but you got to be prepared for it. That's all I'm saying, But We gonna close this out, man. You know, almost 2 hours. But y'all want to add anything at the end? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I'll say it like this. I mean, Stack, like, I mean, I don't even know what to call you, man. I'm so used to calling you Cuz, Stack.
It don't matter. You say Cuz.
Yeah. So, I mean, here's the thing, man. I think that at the end of the day, man, the work that you're doing is beautiful on here. I mean, I hope the people really take a part of the free knowledge, free game if you're giving out. You know, like you say, build yourself up. You know, it's my whole thing. Be whole, so that way you can go and be whole to somebody else. Ain't nobody going on a road trip with a half tank of gas. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, start with yourself, and I mean, once you make you great, only thing that's left is for you to become greater with the next person. But you got to start with you becoming great first.
Exactly.
That's it.
What you got, Mike? Closing out, Mike.
Man, I just say the world is 360, baby. Do right by you and do right by others. And for those that don't, they could go wherever they gotta go in life. Just make sure that you don't fall along in the lines with them during the negativity. Keep your vibes along with the people that have positive vibes alongside with yours. And for the ones that don't, detach or unplug from their frequency. Period. And just work on you, and everything else will fall in line. And most of all, keep a high relationship with the God, Most High, whatever you believe in. And, you know, that's pretty much it. The rest will fall in line. Believe in yourself.
Facts. All right. Well, shit, I'm about to go and hang up from y'all, and I'm about to close out. You know what I'm saying? I thank y'all for calling in. I'll be back next Sunday, you know. Probably get in a little earlier next Sunday, about 6 o'clock. So, but I'll holler at y'all. Thanks for calling. And I'll probably holler at y'all during the week before the next live stream.
Oh yeah, and another thing before y'all close out, you know what I'm saying? I love every one of y'all, man, for what y'all do. Y'all brought, you know, positivity and light in the world. You know what I'm saying? When a lot of people are giving up, I want to say big thank you, Steph, because I know you're a busy man. I know you got a lot of shit to do. To my homeboy over there, yeah, I appreciate your name. What's your name, bro?
My name's Will, man. They call me Will, Tate, whatever. Just call me Big Cuz. It don't matter.
All right, Big Cuz, you know what I'm saying? Big Cuz, you know what I'm saying? I'm over here from the city, from NY, but, you know, I'm in VA. But, yeah, man, keep spreading this positive knowledge, man, and spread it to others, bro.
Hey, you over my way. I'm in Philly, bro. So I got you.
Oh, shit. That's what's up, man. I really appreciate what y'all do, man. Thank y'all so much for, you know, taking the time out from whatever it is that you're doing to spread this positive energy. Hopefully it'll help somebody out there that gave up. And, you know, just keep doing what y'all doing, man, all around.
All right, man. I'll let y'all.
All right,
yo.
Yep.
Come on.
Peace.
All right. So with that being said, in closing, guys, at the end of the day, you can't change nobody. Somebody got to change for the better of themselves. I always tell you guys, it's you versus you. Plan, purpose, program. A part of your program is forgiving people and moving towards what you want to accomplish for your life. Your life is the way you want to live it. If you are the CEO of your own life, you fire people. But the people you fire don't appreciate who they are down the line, because during that season they actually taught you something, and don't always just be so quick to just never allow a person to ask, you know, a person come back to you that you couldn't change. They want forgiveness, give them forgiveness, hear them out. But at the end of the day, it's all a form of respect. But the ultimate respect is respecting yourself and loving yourself. And if you know you're not a full person, like Big Cuz said, then you need to focus and get in tune with yourself. If you have to go 5 months to a year without women or without men and just grind, work on your mental, get therapy, work on your physical, and just focus on you, sometimes that's what it takes. I'd say a year of self-improvement and just focusing on what you can control can change your whole life moving forward. But if you continue to live in turmoil, you're going to get turmoil results. And that's just the way life is. And I'm here to tell you, you know, nothing happens overnight. And at the end of the day, when we go to bed at night, we know the validation that we have for our own hearts and our own self, and we know what we wish we had and what we wish we didn't have. So, with that being said, guys, next week I'll be back on. I don't know what the topic is, but we'll jump on to it. It's no shave November for me. I'm gonna let this mug grow out to December. So, wave cap. Beard, but it don't matter. It still don't change the message. Thank everybody for coming in on the live stream. I appreciate everybody coming in, and hopefully next week you guys come in, share the video. Hope we can keep this growing and positive energy. No trolls called tonight, but like I always say, guys, I want you to stack attack your life. I want you to stack up your life, and I'll holler at you guys next Stack Attack Sunday next week. Holler at you guys. Peace.